Hai, welcome to Kremes Podcast.
Podcast yang paling receh and garing, but maybe informative too, depending on the day.
I'm T.
And I'm A,
Semoga podcast ini bisa nemenin lo.
and hope you enjoy the episode. Hello, welcome back to Kremes Podcast. Kali ini balik lagi sama gua A, in A-rated series. Kali ini seperti yang kalian lihat di title-nya, kita mau bahas tentang The Queen's Gambit. Kalian pasti inget banget kan tentang mini series ini yang kemarin booming banget, especially at the end of 2020. So The Queen's Gambit is 2020 American coming of age period drama. Ini kayak mini series gitu karena dia cuma ada 7 episode, dan ini tuh diangkat based on Walter Tevis 1983 novel with the same name. Jadi Queen's Gambit itself itu tuh sebenarnya salah satu move di chess opening ya. Nah ini tuh setnya is in between 1950s to 1960s, dan kalau nggak salah it is not based on true story, tapi dia based on multiple people in the chess industry. Dan ini tuh eksklusif ya, cuma ada di Netflix. Kalau di Perth and Australia, Netflix sih masih oke. I don't know about Indonesia. I think you guys need to use VPN untuk akses Netflix ya. Tapi ya ini tuh filmnya ada di Netflix, dan yang kerennya lagi buat gue, every episode itu tuh title-nya tuh chess related. Jadi kayak ada opening, end game, terus kayak fork, kayak gitu. Dan sumpah gue nonton ini tuh langsung abis dalam kayak 2 hari karena segitu bagusnya dan gak bisa ditaro. Walaupun one episode tuh bisa sampai 1 jam gitu, tapi tuh kayak gak tau lah, kayak bener-bener intrigue banget dan suka banget sama jalan ceritanya, dan kayak beda daripada yang lain deh. Jarang banget gue ngeliat kayak gini gitu. Dan this mini series has actually have a lot of achievements. One of them was like it becomes top series di Netflix within the 4 weeks of its premiere. Terus kayak it has been two Golden Globe Awards nomination, including Best Limited Series or Television Film, and also buat yang aktris Beth Harmon ya, and Anya Taylor-Joy also got nomination for Golden Globe as well. And this has been like the Critic Choice Television Award, Screen Actors Award, so many awards for this beautiful mini series. Suka banget. Jadi yang gue bilang lagi sama kayak yang awal, jadi ceritanya ini tuh ngikutin Beth Harmon. Dia itu an orphan yang mamahnya meninggal di kecelakaan mobil. Ini settingnya di 1950-1960-an. Terus akhirnya dia dibawa ke panti asuhan untuk kayak to live there to one day get adopted. Dan waktu dia lagi live di sana, he get to learn she get to learn chess. Dan itu yang membawa dia sampai, dan dia tuh pinter banget gitu. Dia tuh like natural in chess gitu, dan dia bisa menangin banyak orang, lawan banyak orang tuh dia menang, like, and then that what brings her to her career kind of situation. I guess I don't wanna spoil too much karena sumpah kalian harus nonton banget karena ini benar-benar bagus banget, dan kayak pokoknya amazing deh, gak ngerti lagi gimana caranya. Dan aku inget banget gara-gara ini tuh banyak banget yang jadi pengen main chess, banyak banget yang jadi kayak pengen ikutan juga main catur segala macam. Dan I think that's like a really good thing, because now it's giving the chess community a little bit of like awareness gitu, a little bit of like advertisement gitu. Walaupun ini bukan based on true story ya, tapi itu sebenarnya tuh Beth's career was resembled by a lot of like famous chess players. So one of them was like Robert Fischer, atau lebih dikenal dengan Bobby Fischer, Boris Spassky, Anatoly Karpov. So all those people itu tuh was active during the 1960s and 1950s. Jadi of course those people were not included in the series itself karena mereka kan si Beth Harmon itu kan dibuat dengan representatif mereka gitu ya. Jadi it is everyone, I think all the people in the chess in Queen's Gambit is like fictional, tapi banyak banget ceritanya tuh yang menyamai dengan kehidupan nyata para big grandmasters of chess gitu. Salah satunya kayak Bobby Fischer kan. Jadi Beth ini kan portray sebagai from orphan to become like start winning things here and there, dan kayak intervalnya tuh mirip banget sama Bobby Fischer gitu, karena Bobby Fischer juga dulu was come from a poor Jewish household in Brooklyn, and then he start building his name, he start going to all these US Masters competition, and then become international grandmasters, and in the end he become the world champion. Dan juga some of the inner demons, I guess, that was portrayed. Beth dia punya sendiri, dan Fisher juga punya like the mental illness and stuff like that. What they have experienced in life was kind of similar as well. And also for the final battles and all that was what happened back then. They portrayed the exact same way. So you will start from like smaller leagues, and then you start going international, national first within America, and then you will go international, and then in the end you will have a grandmaster kind of competition with the number one grandmaster from Russia kind of situation. Terus yang gue suka banget tuh kayak mereka tuh benar-benar attention to detail ya. Jadi kayak gue salut banget sama aktornya, sama direktornya, dan juga sama everyone, like the graphic designers, the fashion designers in the movies, the cast, the casting, the actors, the actress is like so amazing. Jadi kayak walaupun mereka semua fictional character, kan gue nonton juga tuh kayak behind the scenes-nya, dan juga gue nonton juga YouTube-nya segala macam, kayak ternyata tuh each player tuh harus mempunyai gaya masing-masing. Jadi kayak mereka portray someone who is already in the chess industry gitu. Jadi contoh misalnya kayak one of the character, they kayak kalau misalnya kita tahu catur kan ada kayak jamnya itu kan yang harus diketik gitu kan. Nah jadi ada salah satu chess master yang ada di dunia yang kalau misalnya dia mau matiin jam dia tuh dia pakai dia pakai poin-poin catur yang baru dia makan gitu, dia langsung pakai gitu. Dan one of the actor actually use that gitu into his quirks I get, or his signatures gitu. Dan banyak banget kayak gitu. Jadi kayak setiap aktor tuh pasti punya signature sendiri-sendiri. Dan juga yang menurut gue keren banget itu juga kayak from the fashion point of view, kalau misalnya kalian lihat ya baju-bajunya si Beth dalam semua episode, dia tuh pasti ada checkerednya gitu, ada kotak-kotaknya gitu. Itu tuh katanya sih untuk nge-represent kalau misalnya catur tuh selalu ada dalam otak dia gitu. The chess is always on her mind gitu. And I think that was like so beautiful and so cool, because like kepikiran gitu. Dan juga sampai even the last bit when it was like the final thing, she was dressed in whole like white from head to toe. It's like to represent the queen, the white queen, in chess. And I was like, that is so good, like it, how everything has purpose, and like the way they shot it, the way they do things, it's like kayak benar-benar apik banget, dan benar-benar unik banget, dan antik banget, kerasa banget kalau ini tuh kayak serasa old movie padahal bukan gitu. Tapi itu kayak it just feels really really nice and really really well thought of gitu loh. Jadi kayak even gaya bicaranya masing-masing itu menurut gue sih sedikit lebih kayak poetry gitu ya. Jadi nggak kayak langsungnya ngomong seenaknya atau kayak conversation biasa gitu. Tapi the way they portrayed is just like there's some elegant and class to it, and some like you feel like you are back in 1950s and you're back in 1960s watching it, and even the way they bring themselves was like really really good. I think for me personally, kalau misalnya my view on it, gue rekomend sih, sumpah gue rekomend banget. I give this 9 out of 10 karena maksud gue gak cuman ini membuat gue pengen banget main chess, kayak gue abis nonton tuh kayak low-key gue pengen banget mulai chess juga, tapi juga ngajarin banyak hal gitu. Misalnya kayak when to know to give respect. Jadi kayak kalau misalnya di chess, walaupun kamu masih bisa main terus, tapi kamu tahu kamu tuh sebenarnya udah kalah, that's it, like they will actually put down their king to say that yeah you win kind of thing, have that respect to to give. Kalau misalnya yang lainnya udah opponent kita udah menang, we should celebrate it with them gitu loh. Dan juga ini kayak there's a lot of about friendship also in this mini series that I would love to have that kind of friends, you know what I mean, like. And also not only that, it kind of also portray a lot of like strength in women as well, with the whole thing that's happened with Beth Pass, with the mom, with the new stepmom, like adopted mom, like all that, like it was just the strength in women to like go through day by day to achieve what they want to achieve if they put their heart and mind into it, like, and the way they still, even though they're still raw in emotions, like not gonna lie, this movie have some crying, have some yelling, have some happiness. It's just all emotions at once, but like even though it's still raw in your emotion, you are able to just get back up, like keep being strong and come back to it again gitu. Dan ini tuh like I think for me that was like so amazing gitu, kayak maksudnya kayak kok bisa gitu sesuatu yang dari novel become to life in such a way that even the chess players are kudoing, like respect this movie gitu loh. Maksudnya kayak banyak kan kita kalau misalnya kita sering nonton kayak apalagi tentang sport atau enggak kayak misalnya ada film-film dulu tentang basket atau misalnya dulu tentang adalah pokoknya sport atau pekerjaan sesuatu atau karir sesuatu yang dipotret di film kan kadang banyak yang kita ngerasa kayak aduh sebenarnya tuh di dunia nyata nggak kayak gini, itu stereotype gitu. Tapi Queen's Gambit tuh kayak banyak yang even chess player themselves tuh ngerasa they give them respect gitu loh. Apa maksudnya kayak they portray it well enough to be a part of like the whole, like they are proud to present it as one of the chess series and seasons atau nggak TV shows yang bisa give awareness, yang bisa menyalakan lampu dalam shine a light on this on chess itself gitu. Dan yang kayak yang gue benar-benar kudos juga tuh kalau kalian nonton filmnya ya, beneran ngerasa tuh kayak aktornya itu tuh lagi main catur gitu. Kayak mereka tuh udah hafalin move-nya sampai kayak mirip banget kayak orang lagi dance gitu loh. It quite similar to a choreographed dance routine when you watch Step Up or when you watch So You Think You Can Dance or like those dance movies. Or like when you watch action movies where they choreograph the fighting scene and all that. Like this is the same kayak kalau misalnya kalian nonton behind the scene gitu tuh kayak semua aktor tuh dikasih juga gitu loh. Kayak oke, kamu nanti abis si ini main ini kamu main ini ya, si ini gini kamu main ini ya, kamu harus klik gini ya, kalau kamu pause dulu, kamu mikir gitu-gitu. Itu semua tuh jadi kayak a little bit of like a choreographed dance, and I think that's so beautiful. It's really really beautiful, and like I mean for a Netflix series, this is so like well produced, and like just even the CGI that is in the movie, of all like the imagination, of all like the mind, like like what's going on behind someone's mind and kind of situation, like it was so beautifully portrayed, and like benar-benar keren banget, CGI-nya bagus, kayak halus banget, dan nggak bisa sih gue kayak kasih kudos banget, 9 out of 10. Definitely one of the best movie. This is one of those like series that I would love to be able to watch it for the first time again. Kayak kan sekarang kita udah tahu kan apa yang bakal terjadi, kita udah tahu jalan ceritanya. Kayak gue pengen banget untuk kayak hilangin memori gue, terus kayak nonton ini sekali lagi gitu. Dan itu tuh kayak nggak sih keren banget. Dan jadi ini one of the Netflix series yang I would recommend untuk kalian semua. Hopefully you guys like this A-rated episodes. I've been trying to watch here and there. I did watch 5 Feet Apart, and I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. New season is out as well. So I tried to watch here and there about like old movies that I haven't watched or like new movies that just come out. And I will let you guys know if there's something that like really opened my mind and like I just have to tell it to people, karena banyak banget juga yang kayak gitu. Dan kayak kalau misalnya kalian suka banget sama kayak chess stuff like this, I would guarantee to watch Innocent Moves. Jadi kalau kalian suka nonton, ada movie kalau nggak salah ini tuh filmnya dari tahun 90-an. Jadi 1993 Innocent Moves itu keluar. Jadi nama movie-nya kalau dicari di Google atau di Amerika itu Searching for Bobby Fischer. Jadi again, Bobby Fischer was a really really great grandmasters of of chess. He win against the it was really cool story if you guys wanna look into it, karena dia tuh win the Grandmaster with Spassky waktu tahun 1972 kalau nggak salah di Russia. Terus udah gitu dia menghilang selama 20 tahun. Dia just disappear out of nowhere, literally just disappear. Terus dia balik lagi tahun 1992 untuk ngelawan Spassky lagi. Dan di situ kalau nggak salah dia menang lagi deh. Tapi abis itu udah dia menghilang lagi. Dia benar-benar hilang banget gitu. Dan kayak ini kata gue sih, kalau misalnya dengar dari cerita dan dari kayak semua yang gue baca dan juga dari nonton movie-nya, this was because of like because of the mental illness that he experienced, and also because of like how he has to be like sustaining adult since he was little. Karena kan dia udah mulai berlomba, udah mulai keluar negeri, keluar kota. Zaman dulu itu kan kayak jarang banget ya orang keluar negeri, keluar kota gitu tahun 1970-an. Dan dia tuh udah harus kayak pergi-pergi, even before gitu, dia kan lahir 1950, 1960-an gitu. Terus kayak dia udah kayak dari kecil udah pergi-pergi untuk kayak menangin ini itu. Dan kayak itu actually put a lot of force dan a lot of like kayak beban juga gitu dalam kehidupan mereka gitu. Karena kayak mereka mikir kalau misalnya mereka nggak menang, terus mereka itu siapa gitu kan, kayak and I think that like put a lot of like mental illness strain for Bobby Fischer and stuff like that. Jadi kalau misalnya kalian suka another chess movies, I would definitely recommend searching for Bobby Fischer, atau nama lainnya Innocent Moves. Di Netflix juga ada, sekarang masih ada di Netflix. Jadi kayak di cerita ini tuh ngikutin seorang anak kecil yang dia juga kayak a little bit of a genius in chess. Dengan cara mainnya dia tuh lebih ke banyak orang mau menjadi Bobby Fischer, tapi gak banyak orang bisa merasakan apa yang Bobby Fischer rasain. Jadi ceritanya anak ini tuh bisa ngerasain apa yang Bobby Fischer rasain. What it means is dia tuh gak belajar untuk bisa main sama kayak Bobby Fischer. Jadi kayak ini tuh bakal what Bobby Fischer do gitu loh. Enggak, dia tuh pakai punya inisiatif sendiri gitu. Kayak sama kayak Beth Harmon, mereka tuh punya, I don't know, like some kind of like creativity that look at chess as art. And that's what like really, really important. Kayak chess is not just a game, it's actually an art. You know, like you need to, the way you move, the way you go to your victory is like another level. Jadi anak ini tuh punya sama creativity yang sama, bisa melihat move yang di depan gitu. Dan emang semua skill tetap harus di-train gitu. So this kid, same as Beth Harmon juga, dua-duanya di-train with some people, di mentor untuk bisa jadi pemenang sekarang gitu. So it's a really good movie as well. I love it. I mean, I love both movies. If you want a movie, go watch Innocent Moves. And if you want to watch a mini series, I can't recommend enough of The Queen's Gambit. Keren banget, sumpah itu gue nggak bisa stop nonton. Gara-gara stop nonton itu cuma karena gue harus tidur dan besok harus kerja. Kalau nggak, I will keep on watching. So yeah, I give it 9 out of 10. Love it so much. I wish I can watch it again. But yeah, let me know kalau misalnya kalian ada movie atau ada interest yang kalian pengen aku coba untuk nonton atau aku coba untuk lihat. I will try to give a rate on them. And kalau misalnya kalian punya recommendation atau kalian juga mau ngomong di komen bawah kayak, oh iya gue juga nonton, apa yang kalian suka dari movie itu, apa yang kalian suka dari mini series ini, let me know, cause I would love to like have conversation with you guys. Karena suka banget gue ngomongin kayak gini sama temen tuh, kayak sering banget gue gangguin Teh, kayak Teh lu udah nonton ini belum? Teh lu udah nonton ini belum? Ini Teh gue mau nanya kan, Teh lu mau ikut gak recording Queen's Gambit? Terus Teh yang kayak, gue belum nonton terus gue yang kayak, you should watch it, you should definitely watch it. Jadi ya feel free to give me comments, and also kalau misalnya kalian mikir, tolong dong lihat dari sisi ininya dong, atau nggak lihat behind the scene-nya dong sebelum bikin kayak gini, let me know as well. I'm open to any criticism. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Jangan lupa like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with your friends. I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out with your comments, stories, and even questions on what we should talk about. See you in the next episode. Bye. Dah.